Good evening, everyone. That got off to a bit of an inauspicious start, given that you will have seen the tail end of the little 2-minute introduction video because I forgot to press the go live button. But don't worry about that because the 4 comedians that we've got on tonight will more than make up for my lack of professionalism. My name is Ian MacDonald. I'm the host of UK Buzzwords, the comedy bingo show that pays the viewers money every time they tick off the words they have on their list that the comedians say. We've also got the fuck sweepstake. Everyone loves the word fuck, no more so people than comedians themselves. So how many times will the comedians tonight, not me, but the comedians say the word fuck or any kind of conjugation of the word? Who knows? But the nearest guess to the correct answer at the end of the night walks away with a whopping £2 British. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. 2 people have entered the fuck sweepstake this evening, so £2 will be winging its way to one of the lucky viewers that have bought the sweepstake ticket. Yeah, that's about it. Enough prattling on from me, methinks. I think it might be time to get our first comedian on. If you could please welcome to the virtual stage, Gordy Michich. Hi, Gordy, how are we doing?
Hello, doing great. Yes. Thank you very much
I'm
for having
glad
me
to
tonight.
hear it.
Good to be here.
Oh, no, not at all. Thank you very much for coming on. So how are you feeling about tonight? Do you think you're going to beat the buzzwords?
Well, I do swear a
Or do
lot.
you care?
Yeah. So,
Oh,
yeah.
well, my little counter will be clicking. Because that's what I've got for the fuck sweepstake. So anyway, Gordy, I'll stop prattling on and let you take it away. Looking forward.
Wonderful. Well, hello, darlings. I don't know about you, but I'm quite enjoying the lockdown. And I've just done my sums for this month. And amount of money I've saved on deodorant and cosmetics comes to £123.58. On clothes, £1,348. On a wine, I am actually minus 351. So yes, it's been a very big exploration from me regarding alcohol. Well, I mean, it's the only thing you can buy, there's no toilet paper, there's nothing. You can buy condoms and wine. Yeah, great combination. I come from the Balkans. You may have guessed by my name. Actually, my full name is Gordana Micic. And I've come here to steal people's jobs and men, and it's been going very well. I execute them both very well. No, I'm kidding. I came here for British humour, the best in the world. English breakfast, it's better than sex. And democracy. Yes, I know. I mean, fuck it, you can't have it all. Yeah, fuckity fuck. Yeah, how's that counter going? Yes, and when you come here, my lawyer said keep a low profile, don't draw attention to yourself, don't commit any crimes. I'm a sinner, so kind of on the religion front, you can do as much as you like. Yay! So after 10 years, you get an option to become a naturalized British citizen. And do you know what it takes to become a naturalized British citizen? Well, number one condition is you have to pass an English exam that half of the population born and bred here would not pass. Nailed it. I'm a bit of a geek. Number two, you have to find a person, professional person, to confirm that you are indeed sane. I know that took a bit of work. I had to pay him 50 quid. And then finally, you swear the oath, and it goes like this. I, Gordana Micic, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. So help me God. So during this lovely performance, you're meant to hold your hand on the religious publication of your choice. And fuck me, I wasn't going to line there. So instead of Bible, I held my hand on the Quran. Yeah, it's all good. So British citizenship, all there. I'm not worried about Brexit at all. You know, I've got 3 passports. Yay! So that's when you're kind of a mongrel like I am. You know, you've got a choice. Not worried at all. You know, um, I've come here to teach the British government. Oh, you must try the Scottish breakfast. Oh, how do you know that I haven't? Yes, I like your thinking. Um, I've come here to teach the British government how to be corrupt because in the Balkans, you know, we know a lot about corruption. Um, and I am pleased to confirm that Tory government are very fast learners. They've just overtaken the Balkans in corruption. So, yeah, doing very well. My job here is done. Um, the other day, I'm also a mummy. I know they call me yummy mummy. The truth is, I'm a cougar. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see you guys, but you are probably way too old for me. I do like them young. Um, the other day, one of my employees called me a hot toddy. I know this young chap didn't know what would happen to him. So I was kind of, I don't know what the rules are here. You know, in the Balkans, if somebody calls you that, you've got permission to shoot them. But that's not the etiquette here. You can't do that. So I was kind of thinking about different options. I was thinking maybe I should report him to HR. Maybe I should fire him or sit on his face. Yeah, so I decided to fuck him first, then fire him, then report him to HR. Hashtag me too. Yes. I thought I'll cover a little bit of current affairs, really. You know, there's been a lot of talk about sexual harassment, and I have a very simple theory on that. You know, to avoid being sexually harassed as a woman, and I'm talking years of experience here, you sexually harass them first. And that freaks them out, and then they run. Yes, a bit of reverse psychology, so use it, darlings. One of my bosses, you know, instead of paying me more, decided to make me an indecent proposal, an indecent offer. He offered basically the SX's cock to become a director. You know, I am all for promotions and I love to be paid my bonuses, but I do like to suck cock for free. So I had a little bit of a kind of personal dilemma there. So I said, excuse me, thank you for that lovely offer, sir, but I'm just going to consult my objectives. You know, they're smart. In the corporate world, they have to be specific, measurable, yes, um, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And I said, well, you know, maybe next time you should really think about incorporating this into my objectives before you change the goals. Don't like goalposts being changed. So yes, I work in project management, and you know the rule of three about comedy. I actually have this theory. It applies to everything in life. You know, when I write my business cases, the first option there is um, offer them to do nothing. You know, they're not ready for any change. People resist change, so always offer them to keep the status quo. Second option, the full shebang, just do all, you know, at an enormous cost. And then number three, let's just agree on something so that I can get paid. So that actually worked for my career for 20 years, like tried and tested, loving it. Um, Being a mother, I get summoned to PTA meetings quite often. Parent Teacher Association, for those who don't know. And there is a reason why parent comes first. Those bitches rule the school. Seriously, terrifying. So this was about the cake sale. You know, and being a corporate bitch, I don't really do cakes. You know, I do kind of harder things. So, you know, like reading recipes, not my. And these fascists, they put that there are conditions. You cannot use GMOs. I mean, where do you find no genetically modified organisms? No MSGs, no BPAs, no nuts, no soya, no milk, no eggs, no butter, no salt, no sugar, no drugs. I mean, what's fun in that? So I checked the list, and you know what? There was no chocolate and weed in there. So I made hash brownies. Ah, yes. And yeah, ever since I've been banned from the meetings. So that is how you do it, guys. I think my time is coming up. I'm not quite sure. I may have time for another joke, yes, because it's showing kind of 10 minutes. Um, I kind of think you should really have a list for your ideal man. I've been single for ages because my grandma, she gave me lots of options, very independent thinkers, the women in my family. She said, you know what, girl, you're going to the UK, you're going to need this advice. Go and find a man that will make you laugh. Because if there isn't sex, there's always going to be laughter. That's good enough. Go and find a man that will dance with you. Some kind of physical closeness, a little bit of intimacy. It helps. Music, kind of like a meditation tool. If there isn't dancing, if there isn't sex, there's always going to be dancing. And finally, find yourself a man that will make long, passionate love to you all night long. If he doesn't do all nighters, ditch the fucker and make sure that those three men never fucking meet. She was absolutely right, to my grandma. Been using that advice. And then, if you want to stay single, there's another option. You intimidate the hell out of them. You do all the sports, you do professions that are really male dominated, where you do everything better than them. And they're just so freaked out by you that they leave you alone. You never get any dates. So it's been so lovely. I could focus on myself, no men in sight. Wonderful. Yeah, that's why I kind of go after younger men, because they have this kind of confidence thing. They haven't been corrupted yet. They haven't even thought about things. Um, and finally, ideal man for me will have a voice of Sir David Attenborough. I mean, that is, what do married people do? They sleep, so it's got to be somebody with a voice to send me to sleep. Fearlessness. And bottom, I'm quite physical, of Usain Bolt. Oh, those ones. Attitude, Keanu Reeves, definitely. I mean, if those memes are true, hey, he is the man. Sex appeal of Nikola Tesla, I'm a bit of a fan. I like the geek, and I like a bit of moustache, it tickles. Critical thinking of Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And sense of humor, well, of Gordana Mijic. So yes, you guessed it. Still looking, still ticking the boxes. If you make the list so fucking hard, nobody ever passes. Another thing about being from the Balkans, you see, we eat once a day only. That's why we kind of keep nice and slim and fit. We start in the morning and we just don't stop. We love our food and booze. We're very welcoming. The recent polls have actually put us right at the top of welcoming nations in the world. That is, if we don't shoot you first. um, Lots of empires have come and visited, sometimes for centuries at the time. That's how much they loved us. And we can make brandy out of anything. Just give us fruit or veg, and we will deliver it in the liquid form. And I'm not talking like this 5% beer. It has to have alcohol content of at least 50%. Otherwise, we don't trust it. You know, we are very literal kind of people. So, yes, we can make brandy out of absolutely everything, even earwax. That's how skilled we are. Um, and I think that's my time. Ian, I may need your help. I think it's
That was, yeah, just about over 10 minutes. That was good. That was good.
I could
Peter
continue
Chisholm,
forever.
Peter Chisholm certainly enjoyed it. Well done,
Thank you
lass. Made
so
me
much.
chuckle. So you've got another fan there anyway, Gordy, without a doubt. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, 5 buzzwords, the amount that you hit there. You hit 5 of the buzzwords. I'm going to reveal all of the buzzwords that were said at the end of the show. Hopefully you'll stick around and we'll find out what ones that you said. Still no one coming in saying that they've got 3 of them yet. So remember to message the stream when you've got either 3, 5 or 10, and then you can win a £5, £10 and £25. And certainly my little fuck counter was being kept busy by you there. So where can we sort of find you if we want to find out more about you, Gordy? Have you got anything coming up?
Yes, well, I host at the moment online gigs, but also in a couple of venues in London. I normally put everything on my business Facebook page, which is Gordana Micic, MICIC, Balkan Comedy Bubble. So I put all the events there. Also I'm on Instagram, and also website. It is actually balkancomedybubble.co.uk. So I thought I'll call myself a Balkan girl, so not taking any sides, either religious or nationalistic. I am from the Balkans kind of geographical region. So yes, and that's why I called it Balkan Comedy Bubble. And yes, and on Facebook, I think I have this kind of like a golden dress. I look really, really sexy, but I've also put a picture of my children there. So, I don't lie. It takes a lot of sex to make this body.
Okay, brilliant, Gordy. I'll certainly check you out there. And thank you very much for coming on to Buzzwords.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Worries. So there was Gordy Micic hitting, what did I say, 5 of the buzzwords and a fair few fucks as well. So without further ado, let's get the next act on. Keith Brokenshire, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Ian. Yeah, yourself?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. As I said, my little fuck counter was sort of going a good one there with Gordy, but we'll see how you get on with the fuck counter and with the buzzwords as well. So you think you're going to beat them tonight?
I've got a diverse set, so I might hit a few of them.
Diverse set. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Can't wait to see it, Keith. I'll see you.
Well, probably can't tell, but I'm mixed race. I'm half Devonian and half Cornish, which means I can put the cream on the top or on the bottom. Oh, yes, ladies. And it's a scone until it's scone. Have you ever had one of those days where everything just goes to shit? Last week, we had apologised to our customers, and I wrote in an email, sorry for any incontinence caused. My boss was on a Zoom call fairly soon after, and I said, sorry, I know, it's shit. My dyslexia kicked in, and I just didn't see it. But on the plus side, it was all spell checked correctly. Now, due to my dyslexia, my friends and family find it hilarious when I come out with things with what I see and hear and say that I think are perfectly normal. I'll give you a few examples. The other day, when the pubs were open, I met a chap who said he played in a band. I said, do you play the bums? Sorry, drums. He smiled and said, no mate, guitar. I said, lead or brass? Lead or bass? After he stopped laughing, he said lead. I went to a deli and asked for an LGBT sign. Fortunately, they gave me a BLT with gravy. I went to a park and saw a sign that I thought said, all gods have to be kept under control at all times. I thought, wow, man, what kind of a park is this? And who polices that? Dogs. I bought some fuck food for the ducks and visited a wank to pay a check-in, a chemist to pick up my own description, and S&M for underwear. Now, the rule of 6 really screws me up because I keep seeing and hearing it as the rule of sex, which is why last week I joined an adult dating site, and in the profile I wrote I was mixed race and had a 51 centimetre long dick. I got loads of requests for a dick pic, to which I replied, sorry for any incontinence caused. It should have been 15 centimetres, that's 6 inches in old imperial. I'm dyslexic. I told you I'd had a shit day. Now, you probably don't know this, but I used to be a part-time living statue. It was a stable job and offered me a platform to help express myself. Boom! Scaring the crap out of people. Dogs would take the piss and pigeons would occasionally make it a shit day, but I just assumed I was doing a good job. It provided a steady income for beer money until the markets were toppled, and they've taken a dive since then. Has anybody else had issues with Google Maps? I'm going to assume you have. The other day, it told me it was going to take me 1 hour to cycle to Exmouth. It took me over 3 hours to get there. Now, you would have thought the algorithm thingy would have been able to predict that I would visit the 4 pubs on the way for a drink. I know how those A-level students felt now. And it couldn't factor in that I wouldn't go straight home either. Not that I was actually drunk in charge of a bike, you understand. It was just more that I was more happily zigzagging, taking in the views on my way home. Now, if you saw the news on Sunday night, the BBC said that Biden was going to be like soft jazz to Trump's heavy metal. Well, being that I'm a heavy metal fan, I take exception to that, and I see Trump more as a rap artist. It's just that I forgot to put the C for cunt in front of it for all the crap that he's done around the world. And I guess he's going to clean up with bleach and fake tan adverts. But it is nice to know that we finally voted in a world leader that's got a decent haircut. And maybe another headline that you might have missed off the BBC website from way back said, Microsoft puts the entire world in a game. Well, that explains 2020 then. They were talking about Flight Simulator, but it's as if someone tried to put a virus into the game and did it for real by mistake, like the Chinese or someone. And we are now all just stuck in a blue screen, waiting for that IT advanced thing of someone pushing the on-off button. Where's Bill Gates when you need him? And why did we ever actually leave Windows 95? Because that was a really good version and a lovely year. So here we are in the UK in the second lockdown. Surprising, isn't it? Well, really shit. In fact, it's fucking shit. But don't panic, Mr. Mannering, because some people have still got toilet rolls from the first one. And it does appear that there is a virus or vaccine, not a virus, there's a virus out there, a vaccine out there to attack the virus. I'll get the teeth back in. But there's still a lot of health and safety hurdles to get over, as usual. And don't get too excited, because the World Health Organization said the race is still on between Pfizer and the Oxford University for which one gets the sign off. And you might think that they would end up in a race, even a boat race, at the end of it. There was a WHO spokesman that said that the vaccine would be like a golden bullet to the virus. And I don't know about you, but I was hoping for more of a traditional injection or powder form of vaccine. But I guess they'll still need some more witnesses for more volunteers. I'll put my teeth in. Yeah. So step forward, all you fucking brain dead, selfish wankers that won't social distance or wear a mask. No fines for you guys. There's a golden bullet waiting for you. Although, you've got to wonder how they're going to administrate that. They're going to already do it or insert it somewhere else. Shot in the dark either way, I guess. Now, coronavirus can't be blamed for everything. After 9 years, my wife has finally worked out that she can't change me into somebody else. Andy Murray. I'm fucking crap at tennis. So we're getting a divorce. It does have its bonuses though. Silence is golden now. Not a 2-day punishment for something I didn't know I'd done or said in the wrong tone. And they say that money can't buy happiness, but it can pay for a divorce. I don't want you thinking that I'm an alcoholic or anything just because I visit the pubs a lot when they're open. It's just that I like the taste of beer and ale, Guinness, red wine, white wine, malt whiskey, rum, brandy, oh and of course gin. Not too keen on sherry, and I don't like the taste of white lightning. It's like paint stripper. And I can't stand special brew. I do drink water though, don't get me wrong. Generally in the morning to help me rehydrate. And I've got to admit, there have been a few times when I've nearly become an alcoholic. Well, I got married for one. That's enough to drive anyone to drink. Although I'm going sober now. Well, I will do after all the divorce celebrations are over. And I've got another 4 weeks of those, so if I'm not careful, I will become an alcoholic. Although I do like the hair of the dog for breakfast. It helps soak up all the alcohol in the morning. I'm not sure if you caught this either, but before lockdown, 62% of men interviewed said that they did not wash their hands after using the loo. And the reason being was that their genitals were clean, so there was no need. So let's hope that 62% of men are now singing happy birthday to their genitals, or at the very least, sanitizing them. Well, for all this extra hand washing, I'm having to moisturize my hands more, and I've got to be careful which bottle they use in the morning. Glue didn't fix the problem. Lube felt a bit of an asshole. Sanitizer helped clean that issue up. And fairy liquid made my hand all nice and soft and bubbly. But I found out using my own cream is much more enjoyable to use. So stay safe, and after the UK gets out of lockdown, don't forget to protect your granny with the rule of six. Thanks very much. That's my time done, I think.
Well done, Keith. Oh, so many Freudian slips there, eh? Reminds me of a joke. You can get all the Freudian slips you want at freudianslips.com. com. It's not my joke. Philip Simon, previous guest on Buzzwords as well. But yeah, love that, man. You averaged over one buzzword a minute, man.
Wow.
You got 11 of them.
Wow.
Do you know what? None of them were one of them was one of the ones that Gordy had said. They were all fresh buzzwords. We're absolutely rattling through them tonight.
Wow.
That has happened before. I don't think that all these ones have been used, but yeah, fucking
Jeez.
11 buzzwords, man. I need to have a look back and see what the record is. I don't think 11's a record. I think we've had a couple over 11, to be honest.
Damn it, let's try harder.
Couple of fucks in as well. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, Keith. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And we'll reveal the buzzwords that have been said at the end of the night. So thanks for coming on, Keith, and we'll see you soon. 11 buzzwords, man. Cannot believe it. But will the next comedian get any closer to beating the buzzwords? And what will his fuck counter be like? I don't know. But please welcome to the virtual stage, wonderful Mr. Scott Steele. Hello, Scott. How are we doing?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, doing all right. Enjoying this evening. I was certainly kept busy with Keith's set there, crossing off the buzzwords. Again, I'll be revealing all the buzzwords that have been said at the end of the night. At this rate, I might have to make another show of it, but there we go, man.
Sounds good.
But how are you feeling about beating the buzzwords, Scott?
Optimistic, at best.
Optimistic?
Yes.
At best. Well, I don't know. Well, what's it worse then if you're not optimistic?
Depressed.
Exactly. Right. Optimistic at best. Well, what's better than optimistic? Anyway, with that thought, it's what?
Cocky.
Cocky.
Aye.
Don't want to be cocky.
No.
Depends how your colloquialisms go, whether you're cocky or not as well. Don't we end up on the list? Anyway,
Yeah.
Scott, take it away with your 10 minutes.
Thanks, Ian. It is nice to be here in my boiler room. It's about 40 degrees in here. This is probably the closest I'll get to a holiday this year. And with my skin, I'll probably end up with sunburn. Anyway, I don't want to start all negative. I've got a lot still to be grateful for. This year has been terrible, but I'm still grateful for a lot of things. Actually, I'm married to my childhood sweetheart. We met when I was 14. Now, there was no Tinder in 2001. We had to meet the old-fashioned way, drunk in a swing park. She said to me that being in the house has made me more Glaswegian. I'm drinking too much and I'm angry. I've tried to argue back, but this is Stevie Gerrard if he stays Rangers manager too long. Now, after 20 years together, roughly, it's important to keep things a bit spicy in a relationship. I'll be honest with you, my wife still likes to send me a wee cheeky text detailing all the mistakes I've made that day. I didn't know there was a wrong way to open the curtains. We've just decorated in here. My couch has got 9 cushions and they have to go in the right order. My living room's a game of Sudoku. I do appreciate her though. I kind of take the piss, but I do appreciate her. I've got 2 kids now. I thought I was tough. Then I saw my wife in labour. Pregnant women should train UFC fighters. They'll have them in blood, sweat and tears. That's just from visiting IKEA. Before my daughter was born, we actually knew she was going to be a caesarean because my wife's from Caesarea. Well, her birth kind of went fairly smooth, but my son's was a bit different. I'll tell you the story now. It's a Saturday morning. We're lying in bed. My wife's water's break. I'd just changed the sheets, but I didn't want to be a dick. We bomb it to the hospital. Midwife checks her over and says, right, you're not in active labour yet. We're going to give you a sweep. So I thought, good. It's important to be clean down there. I was not prepared for what happened next. Have you ever lost a remote down the back of a couch? The whole time this is going on, she's making little noises. Ooh, ee. If that's what she's doing when someone's elbow deep in her, she has been vastly exaggerating with me for years. 2 days later, she goes into labour and is having a hard time of it. She's on every painkiller going and gets that high, she genuinely starts hearing bagpipes. How patriotic do you need to be that a baby's head is coming out your front bum and your subconscious is doing the national anthem? The doctor came in a little while later and he said, it's not going well. We're going to need to take her down to theatre. Now, we don't need to give her a section. We're going to give her a spinal. For any of you that don't know what that means, basically, you're numb from the neck down, but the baby still comes out your fanny. Doctor's words, not mine. So we get down there. I'm at the head end of the bed, stroking her hair, making bagpipe noises in her ear. And I looked down and I saw the most magical thing I've ever seen. Her left boob had fallen out. She couldn't she couldn't feel the air conditioning blowing on her gown. My son was born a while later. The nurses placed him on her chest. With tears filling up in her eyes, she said, is he not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? No. He's blue and he's covered in weird stuff. He's like a smurf that's been at a foam party. And then at that point, my wife said something that I think a lot of women in that position say. She asked me if she shot herself. In that moment, you have to decide, do you tell the truth? I lied. I said, yes, you did, pal. It was disgusting. One of the nurses was in tears. She still doesn't know. I'm glad to say, though, that my son is a happy and healthy wee boy, just turned 6. He no longer looks like a smurf. He looks a lot like my best mate, though. They're all here at home tonight. I'm originally from an area called Kirkintilloch in Glasgow. Now, if you haven't been, it's got a canal runs right through the main street. For anyone that's travelled, it's kind of like Venice in Italy. They've got opera on gondolas. We've got alcoholics on Tesco trolleys. We were actually named Canal Capital of Scotland. Woo! The council decided we'll have that in every sign coming into town. Welcome to Kirkintilloch, Canal Capital of Scotland. Good idea. Till some smart ass with a black pen, you might be ahead of me, scrubbed all the seas, didn't he? I was raised in the anal capital of Scotland. It's a miracle I was conceived. Kind of place you lose your virginity twice. Do you know what I mean? We had to change it. It's embarrassing. Go with something more appropriate. So they went with the Walkers are welcome town. Graffiti artists have had a field day. We went from the anal capital of Scotland to the Wankers are welcome. Nightmare, man. I'm moaning a bit though. I've got a lot of happy memories. The day I got married, my children being born, my granddad's funeral. I'll explain. was 2003. And I remember it well. The place where the funeral parlour was, within 50 yards, there was a bookies, 2 pubs, and 4 kebab shops. His sudden death at 43 still hasn't been explained. So it was going well. People are crying because they feel things. I genuinely thought that my girlfriend was there at the time. She's now my wife. I thought if I showed emotion, she would dump me. No, that's stupid. The fact that I was wearing a tracksuit to a crematorium would have been a better reason to get rid of me. Afterwards, we were in the pub, and she leaned into me, and she said lovingly, "How are you feeling?" It was at that very moment, and I'm not proud of this, I realised that my house was empty. So I explained to her, you know, we only get so long on this earth. We had to celebrate life. So we went home, and for 27 seconds, we celebrated. Well, I did. Now, if you believe in the afterlife, where do you believe my granddad was floating? At the pub? No. He was over that bunk bed. Folk will say when someone dies, they'll always be with you. I hope not. Heaven will be full of disgusted grannies. So if you're ever feeling a bit frisky, just think of someone that you love that's dead. And then think of me. I really miss doing this live. My last gig before all this shut down was in a Chinese restaurant in Glasgow, because I'm kind of a big deal. And on my way down there, we passed by a group of women in their 50s, drunk out their minds. And one of them shouting to another one, "Sandra! Sandra! Where's the Toby jug?" If no one's from Glasgow, the Toby Jug is a pub that's still stuck in the 70s. Every drink's served with a racist comment, but still $1.40 a pint. She's going, "Sandra! Where's the Toby Jug?" And then sexy lady number 2 responded beautifully, "I've been telling you for 30 years. My name's fucking Jackie." God bless this city. That's all from me. Thank you for listening, if you are.
Well, there's a few people listening, Scott. I was certainly chuckling through that. Oh man, every time I see you, you just get better, man. That was great.
You.
Absolutely loved that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you hit 3 of the buzzwords.
Oh, that's not bad.
3 of them, man. You hit 2 of them in your first minute, and I thought,
Toby
here
Jug
we
one.
go. Toby Jug wasn't one of them.
Oh.
No, Toby Jug wasn't one of them. Sandra was, though. No, not again. Yeah, and you hit 1 of them in your last minute.
Oh,
You were that close.
I'm intrigued.
That close, man. Well, stick around to the end of the show and you will find out, my man. But yeah, absolutely loved that, Scott. Have you got anything coming up? Anything you're wanting to plug or promote?
I have nothing coming up. I have been trying to put a podcast together. It's called Crying Dad. It's just me in it. I did start it just before lockdown with big visions of it being me and then guests and things, and then this happened. So I dropped the ball a few times with it, but I'm hoping to pick it back up. So on Instagram, it's Crying Dad, if you want to see.
Crying Dad on Instagram.
Yeah.
Nice one. Check that out, man. Looking forward to, well, seeing your or hearing your crying dad stories. That's going to be good, man. If it's anything like your set, then it's going to be cracking and well worth a listen.
Thanks very much, Ian. Thank you.
Right. Thanks a lot, Scott. Thanks for coming on. Oh, Scott was so close there. As I said, you get 2 in the first minute and then 1 in the last minute. I'll be going over them all at the end of the show. But we're fast approaching that and we only have 1 act left. Can this act beat the Buzzwords? Welcome, Stephanie Lawrence.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. I'm really looking forward to this. How are we doing this? Well, almost winter's evening.
Yeah, great. Great. I after this I'm looking forward to getting my Snuggie on and yeah, just embracing it because I'm always freezing. So any excuse to wear it. So yeah, good.
Yeah, well, you don't live in Scotland. You don't know what freezing really is.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm from New York originally, but I do have to say the winters here, anything below like 18 degrees to me is like the Arctic. So yeah,
Anything.
usually like here when I go to the beach in the summer, I'm wearing a winter coat anyway. So I'm getting used to it.
Anything approaching 18 degrees in Scotland and we're hyperventilating. Get the medicine. That big red ball's making me too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Steph, without further ado and without me gibbering on, can't wait to hear your set.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Steph Stye. That's my stage name. Yeah. So as some of you know who might be watching this, I am a mom to 2 little girls. And before I had them, I looked like a normal human. And now I just look like a troll who lives under a bridge, basically. And I'm just like, thou shalt not pass. So yeah, any parents out there, I don't know if it's just the lockdown, but literally it's aged me by like decades. So yeah, anyway, it's not a good look. And I have 2 daughters and one of them is, well, it's crazy. One of them is she's 5.5 and one is 3. And people ask like, why did you get into comedy? Why now? Like, you know, that's such a crazy time. Like it must be so hard to do comedy with them. And it's like, because I want to get the hell out of my house and get out of doing this hellish bedtime routine with them every night. Because normally, you know, not during lockdown, I'm like out of the house, you know, going places like London or whatever, doing my comedy routine. And it's great. And this is the reason, because it's so terrifying at my house between like 6 and 9 p.m. Hopefully sometimes 8 p.m. It's horrible. I have a 5.5-year-old who's just leaving shit nuggets all over the bathroom, like one on the toilet seat just for good luck. Like that's extra fun. She's leaving like a trail of poop all around, like Hansel and Gretel, they left the breadcrumbs. This is the stinkier version. It's like Hershey's Kisses, the nutty, like the nutty Hershey's Kisses. This is what she's leaving around. It's horrible. So that's great. And I'm starting to think like she leaves poop everywhere in the bathroom. Like she's incapable of wiping her own ass. Like it's really fucked up. I don't know. Like I thought she was pretty intelligent. So I asked her teacher, but I'm not too sure now. I'm like, why can't she wipe her own ass? Like, is there something wrong with her? And she's just like, no. She keeps telling me, she's like, oh no, she's pretty intelligent. She's doing fine. It's like, well, why is she leaving this shit everywhere? I don't know what's wrong with her. So yeah, so that's happening. Then we have my almost 3-year-old. And every night she just has me in a chokehold. And she's just like, it's cute because you have these little babies and they're like, oh, they're so sweet. They want like breast milk and you're feeding them and it's really cute. Not this one. She's like almost 3 and she just like has me in a chokehold and she's like, give me my milk, bitch. Like every night it's terrifying. So that's scary. So I like to, between the two of them, I like to escape that. and get out of the house. So yeah, it's terrifying. And there's just so much shit in my life because during lockdown, this is one of the highlights. So I live in Cambridge, England. And I'm originally from Manhattan. So yeah, it's a little bit different. I used to go to like fun bars, like fun clubs. And now I'm just hanging out in the Common in Cambridge and like just with nothing to do. There's just like cows everywhere. And I don't miss New York City at all. I'm not bitter. Yeah, right. But yeah, so I didn't know what to do with my daughters during the first lockdown. There've been months of like, just hell basically stuck with them trying to do homeschooling. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to take them out to the Common. They're playing with, I thought they were playing with dirt. And I was like, okay, this is kind of wholesome. Like they're just playing with dirt. Like this is not that bad. And then it started to smell a little bit weird. So I was just like, okay, this is bizarre. What is this? And it turned out that they were basically smearing, like making face masks out of cow poop. And I was too lazy to stop them. I was just like, well, they're having fun. So this was like parenting at its finest. Like they smelled disgusting. And then I had to take them home. They were covered in cow poop. Like we saw the cows in the distance. I was like, can't be cows. No, it was cows. They were literally right there. And then I took them home and remembered this was really bad, that our water had been shut off for 2 days. So they couldn't even take a bath. They just had cow poop. Thank God they weren't going to school or nursery, but they were literally covered in cow feces for 2 days afterwards. And we all had to smell it. I think I minded it the most. I was like, this is a parenting low. I let my kids not only cover themselves in cow shit. I started smelling something weird and let them continue. I was like, and now they're covered in cow shit. That's so gross. So yeah, that was vile. And yeah, it was all over them. But that was fun because basically we're out of the house a lot, not only because of lockdown, we're having some building work done. So we have this in England, it's not the best time to have this building work done, but whatever. They ended up leaving, coming back, because of COVID, whatever. We had a portaloo, or as we say in America, a porta potty set up. Everything here is so proper with the loos. Yeah, so anyway, we had that set up, and we had that outside our house. And one day, this was kind of awkward, but definitely a highlight of my lockdown. This is actually, to be fair, this was just before lockdown, because, okay, and this is funny, we got this porta potty set up. We got this porta potty put outside because in the house, just to give you a background story, in case anyone out there gives a shit, we only have one bathroom. There's 4 of us. There's my husband, who's English, who I can barely understand. Then there's my 2 little English daughters, and who are half American though. And so before lockdown, I was in the bath one day for like an hour, and I sounded. This is the run up to explain why we got the portaloo. So I was in the bath, and I must have sounded like a absolute psychopath because I was in the bath. I was preparing for a show. So I'm supposed to, this is coming up, this is a plug, do the blackout at Up the Creek in London at that comedy club. So I had that scheduled. That's been rescheduled twice, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But it's like a competition. So I was like, oh my God, like, it's not like brain surgery or anything. Like I wasn't that nervous, but I was like, I need to do my set. I think I had like just a couple minutes to rehearse, like 2 minutes. So I was in the bath like a psycho, doing my set over and over and over. I did not realize that one of the workmen was outside of the bathroom listening to me in the bath. Or I don't think he was really listening to me, but he was waiting to use the bathroom. He was too polite to knock. What's up with English people? They don't knock. He's just like, I guess he was there. Then he came back. Then I get out of the bath And I saw him, I went and got dressed and I saw him like, you know, half an hour later, and he was like, oh yeah, I saw you in the bathroom while I was waiting. So he ended up leaving to use the bathroom elsewhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He was like, you know, I just waited a couple minutes and then I thought maybe you were busy. So I was like, oh my God, he heard me doing the same set. And he didn't know I was a comedian until later. I told him, because he must have been thinking, why the hell is she saying the same thing over and over and over and over in the bath? Like the same 2 minutes of whatever nonsense that I was doing my set. Who knows? I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah. So then I was like, oh my God, what did he hear? So I then explained to him that I was a comedian, because I was probably thinking he's never going to want to come back to my house. I sound like such a fucking head case. I sound insane. Then, okay, so then that happens. Then I was like, okay, maybe we need to get a new portaloo. Like, we need to get a new bathroom. And the using it was like the highlight of my lockdown. It was great. So yeah, it was so much fun. Except, and this is a little bit awkward, when another builder was waiting to use the portaloo, because the portaloos was for the builders. And then because I wanted to just be wild and crazy, thought, ooh, I'll check out the portaloo and escape my family. I got into the portaloo. Then this builder really has to go to the bathroom. Then he's waiting for the portaloo, but the other builders are there. So he's like, who the fuck is in the bathroom? This is so weird. Then I come out of the bathroom and he's like, why are you not in your house using your actual bathroom? It was very bizarre. Anyway, it was very strange. That basically just sums up who I am. I'm a psycho. Nice to meet you. I'm Steph Stye, and that's basically it. That was my alarm. So thank God I set one. I could go on all night. And that's it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Steph. I must admit, though, if we didn't have a fuck sweepstake going on, I think if we had a shit or a poop sweepstake,
I
you would have broken my counter.
I know. Yeah, there were a lot of those. Maybe next time.
I enjoyed that scatological comedy.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was fun.
We really enjoyed it. Right, let's see. You hit 4 of the buzzwords.
Okay, cool.
4 of the buzzwords. So the winner of tonight, if you want to call it that, is Scott Steele. He got 3 of them. You got 4 of them.
Good job, Scott. Excellent.
Keith got about 407, I think it was. I think Gordana got about 8. But yeah, so is there anything that you're wanting to plug or promote?
Yeah.
Where people can find you?
Yeah, so my stage name is Steph Stye. My actual name is Stephanie Lawrence, but I'm using Steph Stye. It's just quicker. I do have Instagram and Twitter, so please find me there. And I do have a couple online shows coming up on the 19th. And you can find me on Facebook, and this will all be there. And then I've been doing, live stand-up in London and Cambridge, not so much at the moment because not much is happening, but a lot in London at comedy clubs. So yeah, I'd love for you to come, and this will all be on social media. So just feel free to follow me. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Stephanie, thank you very much for coming on to Buzzwords. Well, none of our comedians beat the buzzwords tonight. I'm just going to have a quick look at the fuck sweepstake. The counter reads at a total of 17 fucks. So the winner of the fuck sweepstake tonight is Mr. Ian Bowden. Very well done, Ian. You guessed nearest to the fuck sweepstake with your guess of 9. I'll be PayPaling you after the show your prize money of 2 whole Great British pounds. And no one has claimed that they've said or they've heard 3 of the buzzwords being said. But I shall recap just now. I'll give you all of the buzzwords that were said. And maybe if you've missed any of them, have a check at your sheet, messages, and we'll get you paid. Now, the buzzwords that were said were chocolate, Tory, Queen, Brexit, coronavirus, surprise, surprise, family, Zoom, dogs, dick pics, which is a first for buzzwords, cycle, Trump, toilet roll, divorce, gin, Tinder, Rangers, Scott, come on, Chinese, Lockdown, London, School, and Psycho. So those were all of the buzzwords that were said tonight. Thank you very much to Steph, Scott, Keith, and Gordy. If you want to get their socials again, have a look at the UK Buzzwords website, or the Buzzwords Facebook page, should I say. Not got a website yet. Hell, we've only got 3 viewers at the moment. Hey, but check out UK Buzzwords on Facebook. All of their info will be on the replay of this show. This show is back on the 27th, I think. No, the 24th of November, in 2 weeks' time. Get your tickets now, enter the fuck sweepstake, and thanks for watching.